Hello and welcome. Today we will destroy some
old boring sweaters to transform them into something new and amazing. For this project we will need a pair of scissors, some assorted ribbons in different colors, buttons. I chose big wooden buttons, half-a-meter chain, pearls, chalk or a pencil, a sewing machine or your hands, pins, and again a very suspicious looking ruler. And fusible glitter. Look at this beauty! Too bad that I didn't have hollow in the shop I found this. Let's meet our victims. I have one white grandmother sweater, very boring, no color, nothing special about it. 3 plain sweaters, worn out, begging for mercy and a revamp. And I have one operation from a designer with commitment issues. Is this supposed to be off-shoulder? Is this a turtleneck? What is this? What is this? What is this?
This is Extreme Makeover Sweater Edition.
The first patient is the steel sweater that we will transform into a shorter version with a chain and a neckline. First, find your center back by folding both shoulder seams and pinning the middle. Then turn your sweater over and spread it on the table using that center back as your starting point for sewing the chain. Here I am sewing each third link of the chain to the neckline, making sure it's not pulling on the fabric, not to deform the neckline and look weird. Once you've done it all around, do not sew the end parts together, otherwise you will not be able to put your head through the hole. Yes, you still want to wear this, don't you? Leave it open. Just leave it. Then proceed to remove any excess of chain with the adequate tools. Throw that rest with violence to the side. Now to make your sweater shorter. First you need to measure the length that you want. I am going for my belly button so that I can wear it with my 50s inspired dresses or with high-waisted jeans. Measure that and with a ruler make a straight line. Be careful when cutting not to make awful squiggly lines. Also cut the end of your sweater with the beautiful finish. You will need to use it so that your sweater doesn't frail away. After cutting both of those parts, mark the center front and center back by pinching the side seams together and marking those new edges that you see. Now it's time to attach that bottom ribbon to the upper part of your sweater. First, turn the ribbon inside out and upside down and shove it into the sweater from the outside. So you have it right sides facing and your center front, center back and side seams need to be aligned. Then you can pin it down and take it to the machine to sew it on a straight line all around. And now it's time to shorten those sleeves. Fold your sweater in half, align the sleeves perfectly to each other and measure the length that you want to take out. You have to cut on a parallel line to the end of the sleeve, to your hand cuff. Hand cuff? No, cuff, to your cuff. Just make a parallel line and cut the cuff away. I want to do a folded cuff. That means that I have to sew this a little bit different than the part on the waistline. With sweater and cuff right side out. Insert the cuff inside the sleeve. Align the sleeve seam, pin that down and sew it. Now you can fold it out and it will look pretty. Sounds complicated, but it's very simple. Again, everything is right side out. Insert the cuff in the sleeve. Align the seam, pin and sew. And there you have a short sweater to wear with high-waisted jeans or to show your bacon in winter, which I don't think your parents would agree with. Next! Now the sweater with the commitment issues. It hasn't decided if it's a turtleneck or an off-shoulder. But in case you don't have such a problem, you can use a turtleneck for your project. That's no problem, it will work just as fine. First you have to remove that turtleneck. I'm following the line of that existing attempt and I'm just cutting a boat neckline. Now you have to fold your sweater in half and make a slit on the back. I am making my slit approximately 30 centimeters in length. Then you have to fold 2 flaps on that V-neck from the inside so that you have sort of a V backline. Pin that down and reserve for now. Going back to that turtleneck, first cut it in half so you have it open and then from the length cut it in half again so you have 2 strips of sweater. Pin those together and sew it. Now find your center front in that sweater, pin it all around and sew it. Since I want this to be a floppy neckline, I'm sewing it wrong side of the sweater with the right side of the floppy neckline. Then sew the V backline to keep the flaps in place. Cut the excess fabric off. Remember that rest chain that you threw violently to the side. You have to finish assassinating it by taking all of the links away from each other. Separate them with no mercy. Place them on the V-back line of your garment in the distance that you wish them to be apart from each other and sew them in place. After that, just thread a very pretty velvet ribbon to close it up and there you go. I burned the end of the ribbon so it wouldn't frail and I suggest you do the same. Just be careful not to burn yourself. Now this is a committed off-shoulder sweater. And no, it does not fall off. It stays really tight on the boobs because you have the threading on the back. Now we have a very worn out purple sweater that is 8 years old, the poor thing. And for this, I will use the fusible glitter. The elbows of my sleeves are very worn out, so I decided to hide by adding a heart as an elbow patch. Take a sheet of paper, fold it in half, and draw your heart. Cut it out, trace that heart on the wrong side of your fusible glitter sheet, and cut it out. Then discover where your elbow is. Mine are pretty visible, marked forever in the sweater. But wear yours in front of a mirror just to be sure and mark it with a pin. Just be careful not to scratch yourself. Pin your patch to the right place. To have both of your patches aligned, fold your sweater in half, flattening the sleeves on top of each other. Then find the end of your patch and fold it right there. Mark that point and then fold it to the other side. Place your other patch right on that spot, pin it down, open your sweater to check if everything is aligned. I do that by aligning the sweater armpits and checking if both hearts have the same distance from the end of the sleeve or the handcuff. Just for fun, I added a heart to my chest because the real one is missing. Then all you have to do is to iron that on place, minding the temperature instructions on both your sheet and your sweater. Don't go melting anything by mistake, please. I used a piece of paper to protect my iron from the glitter in case something went wrong. After a few minutes, everything was fused together and both the sweater and the glitter were joined in holy matrimony for the rest of their lives. This is the perfect solution for you with cats. To hide all of the claw holes, just patch some glitter on top and pretend it never happened. The next one is a poor black sweater that is only black. I understand black, but I do not enjoy black. So let's change that and bring a little light to the life of this black sweater. Take your pearls, open the vessel they are stored in, and just gather them on top of your sweater, and there you have it. It's done. Simple as that. Of course not. You have to sew them in place. Don't you dare using the glue gun for this project, because I will find you and I will teach you how to sew properly. This is pretty simple. Just sew them randomly to the front of your sweater. Just how you enjoy looking at them until you're done or until you feel you have enough pearls. I'm using one color only, but there are pearls in different colors. Just mix and match, do whatever you want. And then at the end, you have a sweater with pearls on the front. And you will probably pay for the pearls a lot less than if you go to the store to buy a sweater with pearls on them. And now I'm tired of saying pearls because my tongue hurts by saying pearls. 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 This earl sound does not exist in Portuguese. Earl. It's giving me jaw cramps. Pearls. Pearls. I feel like a deep sea creature.
Pearls. Pearls. Pearls.
It certainly looks cool, but I have to be careful not to keep touching my boobs in public. I have a thing for textures, and those are very nice textures. Not the boobs, the pearls. You nasty little person, you. Oh, the oh so boring grandma sweater. The previous one was too black, this one is too white, and I need to add some color. So, ignore the terrible state of my mixing dish. Take the wooden buttons, mix some color, and make a very nice pastel rainbow assortment of colorful buttons to exchange your boring white ones for those. While the buttons are drying, take your sweater and a colorful ribbon and sew all around your armhole rectal style. That will give it a touch of color without being too out there. This took me 5 minutes per armhole, so it's a very quick makeover, perfect for when you're bored. After you're finished, just sew the 2 loose points to the inner side of your sweater and you're done. After both of your armholes are finished, just exchange your boring white buttons for your beautiful pastel rainbow colored ones. That's it. That was very short and painless. Everybody can do that. Now there, you're a beautiful pastel unicorn instead of a boring white sweater. Isn't life beautiful?
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like sewing shenanigans, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.